Hello, everyone. Jonathan Khamis here for the OCVarsity Gridiron Show. It's so great to be back with everyone. Steve Fryer joining us along with Dan Albano. Guys, we haven't seen each other in about a year and a half. It's good to see you guys and talk some Orange County football.
Let's
go.
Good
to see you, folks.
Great to be back.
It's
Happy
great.
for all those senior players out there. Big time, class of 2021.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I'm excited for everyone. And let's kick it off with our game of the week. It will be La Habra at Mission Viejo. The last time we saw La Habra, they lost a heartbreaker to Grace Brethren, 49-45 in the CIF semifinals. Mission Viejo was 11-1 last year. But hey, Mission Viejo beat La Habra 23-6 the last season they played. Remember, guys, last season was played back in 2012. Feels like 20 years, this pandemic. Holy smokes. Coach Johnson wasn't happy with the way they played a season and a half ago. So I'll go to you, Dan, first. Mission Viejo. Peter Costelli isn't there anymore. What else can you tell us?
Yes, Peter is at University, Utah with some other Orange County players. But yeah, they're going to be starting. I expect them to start sophomore quarterback Caden Samanza, excuse me. So I think Caden's going to get the look. You know, they have a fine athlete as well at quarterback, Will Burns, but he's electing to play baseball. So that's kind of the sign of the times a little bit with, where the season falls. Kids are looking at different sports or playing in college. So that's going to be interesting for Caden making his first start with the Diablos. I think there's going to be a lot of Jaquez Robertson, running back headed to Northern Colorado. And then, of course, I also will be interested to see if they put Easton Mascarenas at some running back as well. Oregon State commit at linebacker also can play some running back too. So we'll be interested to see how the Diablos handle their offense with sophomore QB.
Hey, Steve, now I'll talk to you because that's not the only sophomore quarterback in this game. La Habra will look to start quarterback Justin Gill. And when you're talking about two sophomores and some time off here with the pandemic, there has not been a high school played in almost a year and a half. Are you looking at rust in a game like this, especially the first game of the season, Steve?
Well, we always say whoever makes the fewest mistakes is going to win the football game. And with the fact that these guys haven't played much at all, haven't had a chance to work out much at all, really, until, the green light go happened just recently. So there's going to be a lot of turnovers in these games, a lot of mistakes, bad snaps, bad, handoffs, all kinds of things like that. But, getting to this La Habra team, Justin Gill at sophomore, transferred over from Villa Park, really fine player, a wide receiver, a slot receiver for La Habra. Brandon Vasquez, look for him to have a big year. Had 71 catches last year, maybe even have a even larger season this year. Probably going to be an all-county guy. And anchoring the offensive line is a center named David Sanchez, third-year starter at center for the Highlanders. They run a shotgun snap every time. Having a center with a lot of experience like that in shotgun formation is huge for La Habra. They may be a little, they may have it together pretty good already.
All right, let's move on to the next game. And yes, I was very impressed with Brandon Vasquez when I was at practice for their Camp Chronicles shoot. Let's go to the next game, fellas. Yorba Linda at Newport Harbor. This is the first ever meeting between these two teams, and a little bit surprising, but Yorba Linda has only kind of had a varsity squad for a little over 10 years. Dan, I'll go to you first. We'll talk Newport Harbor. They were 9-4 last season, and they made a respectable run last season, getting to the semifinals after finishing fourth in the Sunset League, Dan.
Yeah, Coach Lofthouse has the Sailors kind of back on the rise and headed in the right direction. They're a pretty experienced group coming back, led by Justin McCoy, one of the better running backs in Orange County. And we'll see what they do at quarterback, but I'm expecting to see Nick Kim back as well. Has got some good experience, and they have experience throughout at different spots as well. Eric Heil is a good linebacker. Eric Hillard is a good offensive lineman, and D lineman. So it will be interesting to see maybe Hillard hook up against Yorba Linda's Mason Randolph, Boise State commit. So, but I think Newport's got some good experience, and they are getting ready for a game next week against Edison. Big game, going to be a short week, a Thursday night game, I believe. So this is a big spot for Newport to get off a promising campaign.
Steve, I'll go to you now. Yorba Linda, they were the Crestview champions last year, but they lost in the second round to St. Paul. You know, Jeff Bailey's always got his guys on point. Newport Harbor on the road. What do you look for in this one? A prediction, perhaps?
I love this matchup. I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun. Two really good public school teams. Fun to see Newport Harbor sort of on the comeback trail. And, you know, it's always about building a winning culture. We hear that a lot in every level of sports. And Yorba Linda beating Villa Park last year, winning that championship. You want to talk about something that'll build a winning culture. You beat those buddies of yours down the road a little bit, and that's going to help an awful lot. Got a good two-way lineman coming back for Yorba Linda, Mason Randolph. So that's really huge for them. You know, it all starts with offensive line. Jeff Bailey, line coach, you know, going way back to his Esperanza days. I like Yorba Linda's chances in this game to win it. And, you know, can they win the Crestview League Championship again? It's a really good league again this year. But I really like the way the Mustangs are looking up there on the hill up there.
Okay, we'll go to our final game, which is Foothill versus Tustin, a rivalry that they play every single year. Foothill, they were the North Hills champion last year. Their only loss was, and when I say last year, I mean last season, guys. Their only loss was a second round defeat to San Dimas in the playoffs. On the other side, Tustin finished 5-6 the previous season. They were third in the Empire League. Dan, Foothill, they beat their rival Tustin back in 2019, but they've traded wins over the last couple of seasons. What do you look forward to in this matchup, Dan?
Well, I'm just excited that this game is being played. You know, this is a non-league game. Yes, they're you know, in the same Century Conference, but it's great that, you know, despite the pandemic and everything that's gone on, that they were able to get this game scheduled. That's for number one. And you know, I think Foothill, from talking to Coach Case, they have a chance to be just as good this year as last year. So I think they're a team to watch. And running back, Roman Pistoni is a guy to watch. He has got a good motor, and he's explosive. He hits the hole, and he's going to be a guy that, you know, Tustin's defense is really going to have to concentrate on. And then I'm also looking to see Nick Freyhoff, a fine defensive end for Foothill, who's committed to Penn. I think he's going to be a force, maybe playing a little tight end as well. He's one of the better players in Orange County as well. So great rivalry game. I think Foothill's coming in with a lot of momentum.
All right, Steve, I'll go to you now to talk about Tustin. Like I said, they finished third in the Empire League, and they lost in their first round matchup to Sunny Hills last season, but they did beat Foothill in 2018 and 2017. The Tillers, what do you got?
The word on the street, so to say, is that the Tillers have some pretty good transfers have come in, going to help that team a lot. And the thing, and, you know, nobody likes to talk about all their transfers right now. So we're going to find out exactly what they have. I'm going to be at that game. When you get transfers and you haven't had a lot of, you know, real practice time, other than, you know, the conditioning, things like that, getting those transfers to come in and to play and get it together and get that thing to gel. Sometimes it takes a game or two for everybody to figure it out. Right. So we don't know exactly how much impact these transfers are going to have, but you know, if they're as good as I'm hearing, Tustin's going to be a team to watch out for in that Empire League. I was just doing the top 25 or preseason top 25. Really didn't know where to put Tustin. They're going to be somewhere in that top 25. I'm not going to give it away yet, but they could be a team that gets better as the season progresses. Really good first round test for them playing Foothill here. I'm coming right out of the chute. Neighborhood rivalry game. Those are always a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing that Foothill Tustin team, Foothill Tustin game, and to see what Tustin has on the football field.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for the OCVarsity Gridiron Show Week 1. We're so happy to be back and talking football. We'll be here all 6 weeks, and hopefully the playoffs as well. I can't wait to see Dan and Steve in the wild one day. It'll be nice as things hopefully progress and things get better in this ongoing coronavirus pandemic that we're in. We want to thank everyone for watching, and hope we see you at the games, whether those guys are in the press box or on the sidelines or in their car. We don't really know. We're all figuring things out day by day. Thanks to Dan. Thanks to Steve. I'm Jonathan Khamis, and we'll see you next time.